Look, Pierre, I've done everything I can to support you this season, sacrificing my own season so you could win a second world title, and you've let me down. No, mate, you've stuffed it up and you've let me down, so it's every man for himself now. Guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing. It is the Brazilian Grand Prix today, our second last race with the team, and, well, I'm looking forward to this one. Sao Paulo is always a track I've enjoyed at Interlagos there, and it's a track I feel like I do okay at as well, so we'll see how we go here. Now, we've got a little bit of things to do between now and the end. We'll keep supporting Gasly a little bit, basically because there is still a mathematical chance of the championship, the Constructors' Championship. We basically need to finish first and second in the last two races and then hope that Red Bull have a couple of nightmares. So that is the situation there. Facilities, well, there's no point at this point because we're almost done. R&D, you can see there, we've got ourselves, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, essentially McLaren, AlphaTauri, and Alpine aren't too far away from being maxed out as well. So it's all very, very close at the top there. And Alfa Romeo making big strides towards the end of the season there as well. Now, everything wear-wise is as good as we can get it. It's the freshest parts, and we have extras anyway, so that's not a problem. Last race for this gearbox, we'll get a fresh one for the last race in Saudi Arabia. And, of course, we saw the end of the last race. We can get a new sponsor now. So I think what we might do is scores 20 Constructors points during a race weekend. Between me and Pierre, we should be able to manage that. It's a little bit of extra money for us as well. So that's what we'll do. And hopefully, I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. Gasly, 99 rated he is still as well with a good car. It is a little bit, I think he's been a little bit disappointing this season, but I suppose you can't win them all. You can see there our money mountain building back up. And the standings, as a reminder, Gasly can still win the driver's title. He's got some work to do. He's got 28, 29 points behind Max Verstappen. Myself, I want to beat Yuki Tsunoda. That's a little bit embarrassing, being behind an AlphaTauri. I'd like to get Bottas and maybe Hamilton, but again, we're running out of races here. And you can see the Constructors. We are, I think it was 74 points behind. Like I say, we basically need to come first, second with the fastest lap and then hope that Red Bull have absolute nightmares. Now, in terms of the season results, you can see there that my second half of the season, not that my first half was brilliant, but I had a couple of podiums in a row there, and it's just fallen away from Silverstone on. Seventh last time out wasn't too bad, but it's just been all a little bit disappointing. Now, previous races at Sao Paulo, we haven't been there last season. Before that, Sao Paulo was 13th. And then season 1, it was 10th. So maybe I haven't done as well here as I thought. And the rivalry is, of course, Valtteri Bottas. That's who I need to beat. We're just behind him in terms of the actual rivalry itself. So hopefully we'll take an advantage into the final race, which is Jeddah. And you can see everything else there. 4 wins I've had in this little career that we've got here. 2 pole positions, 11 podiums, 6 fastest laps. Can we add to that? I guess time will tell, won't it? So let's sim ahead here. There's not too much of a chance for things to go wrong, I don't think, he said famously. So, assuming that's the case, we will be off to Brazil for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Now, Sao Paulo known for some weather, isn't it?
We're able to attract a new sponsor to the team.
Yeah, we've done that already, Jeff. So let's hope there is no rain. Alright, so there is a Sao Paulo track map, or the Interlagos track map, even if you're unfamiliar with it. The weather forecast is more or less dry, so that's obviously a good thing. Looks as though FP1 might be going to have some rain though. So I will see you for qualifying. Hopefully we're going to have a good car here. Alright, well, we are right in this race weekend. I was second in FP3, third in FP2. FP1 was a bit of a write-off because it was sort of drizzling the whole time, and it was slick tyres, but not really, and it was just a whole bit of a write-off. But anyway, all the times are on the Discord if you're interested. Now, there was talk about not qualifying and starting from the back of the field for the race. Ultimately, I just don't really want to do that, if I'm honest. I want to try and qualify and race and see how I can do. So, apologies if that's what you were looking forward to. We're going to qualify. We should be going for pole, if I'm honest. So, let's see if we can get it. Okay, so we've gone out in FP1. We put a time in on the medium tyre. We should be comfortably through with that. We're 2 seconds or a second or so faster than a lot of these cars here. So if we need to go out in the soft, I'll let you know, but I think we'll be fine. All right, so we were indeed fine. We got through in 14th spot, just under a second off the top, which was Carlos Sainz. Now, I think my best time in free practice was a 106.2 or 3. I can't remember now. So sort of in the conversation there. It wasn't a perfect lap, though. I still think I could have gone a little bit quicker. So we'll see how much quicker I can go now, because it is, well, it's go time. It's FP qualifying 2, I should say. All right, so here we go on the soft tyre. It's weird that I'm suddenly ahead of Gasly as well. I don't know, maybe this track, it is a track I enjoy, so maybe that's just sort of getting me through a little bit right now. Not too bad through the center S. I don't think it was perfect, but hopefully it's not going to have lost us any time, or too much time, if any. Oh, almost too much curve on the exit there. I think a low 06 should be enough to get you through into Q3, sorry. Although I can see a couple of the low 105s going in there, so maybe I've got that wrong. Maybe they were all sandbagging in free practice to get me excited, and I'm about to get horribly disappointed. Alright, let's see what we've done here. I mean, I think everybody leaves a little bit on the line, you know, to make in free practice, don't they? That's put us 5th. It's a 105.9. Okay, so everybody has gone on ahead of Gasly again. We have a spare set of tyres, so we might as well use them and just try and make sure, I think. So we'll go and do a second run. Alright, so I couldn't improve on my second run, but we get away with it. We are through into Q3, and it's been a while since we've said that. So let's go and see. We've got about half a second to find to beat Verstappen. Let's go see if we can do that. Okay, first run in Q3. And it's good to be taking part in Q3 again, isn't it? Alright, as the nerves set in. Not too bad. Of course, I've complained before about not having a delta. It really is annoying, but anyway. Looks like a purple first sector, but even though we're probably doing the first lap. Oh no, Bottas is gone. He's only done it, he's not into the 105s, so we should be able to beat that. I would hope, anyway. Just about got it back to the apex, but not a good exit. Really tricky last corner. It's surprisingly tricky just to get it right, but that was actually quite good again. Just a shame I messed up the exit of that one corner. Let's see what we've done here. It's a 105. No, it's not. It's in the 106s. So that's not going to be good enough. Alright, so given that it's a short lap and tyre wear is minimal, we're going to go for a second lap on this set of tyres. We've had sort of a bit of a cool-down lap. And we'll see how we go here. We will, of course, have the delta to chase as well, so we get a better idea of how we're going. Not quite as good through the center S that time. But, of course, it was in the midfield that I stuffed up. Right at the end of the midfield, actually, wasn't it? Just on the exit of that corner. Oh, we've done the Verstappen line again, and that's that lap ruined. Alright, so we've got a fresh set of tyres. 4 minutes to go. And we're currently P8. So we'd like to move up the grid if we can, and there's time there to do it. We have the delta, of course, now as well. And we can see not my best taking of the center S. So we've got time to make up as well. Alright, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Right, we are a little bit up. This is where we lost all the time last time. And we've taken that much, half a second. We've absolutely nailed that. All right, finish it off. Purple sector. Decent exit out of the last corner as well. Half a second. We needed that, didn't we, to get to Verstappen, I think. Or that last FP2. We'll take the short run to the line. What have we done? What have we done? What have we done? P2! So we were that close to pole position, but we are on the front row again. We're ahead of Perez. We've split the Red Bulls. Gasly, for once, is the man letting the team down. And, well, can I get a win, or at least a podium, to cap off what's been a pretty ordinary second half of the season?
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position and old-timer completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Charles Leclerc and Bottas, Norris, Gasly, Stroll and Lewis Hamilton, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso and Ocon, Giovinazzi, Lundgaard, and Guan Yu Zhou and Mick Schumacher, Schwartzman, Russell, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
All right, that's a good view, isn't it? All right, now we have, of course, limited strategy options with, obviously, the qualifying in Q3. The track is hot, 31 degrees. There is... Could we come in later and then put on softer tires? We can always change it, I guess. So what if we come in lap 10, stay on the soft tire as long as possible, and then switch over to... Although the medium's going to be faster. No, let's do that. Let's try it. We can always change it in race. And, well, can we get a win? All right, look at that front row. There we are. I haven't seen that for a while. Verstappen next to me, of course. It's a long hole. And when the lights eventually do go out, it's not the best start I've ever done, is it? Verstappen is gone. Sainz is looking down the inside of us. We leave him a little bit of room. There's the Ferrari we should have on the inside. And then that is us on the racing line and secure in second, but Verstappen definitely got the leap on us there. We're not quite done with Sainz yet, just drifting to the inside to try and block the run, and we have done just that. So nowhere really now to overtake until we get back to the front straight, so we'll be able to just concentrate in front. Nope, I've gone wide. Don't do that. Don't stick your nose in there, please, Carlos. And now, hopefully, we can just focus on Verstappen and trying to close the gap, and of course trying to stay in DRS range, which is important here because you get the back-to-back front straight, and then after the center rest, that next straight. So it's definitely, you do need to try and stay in DRS because, well, especially if Sainz is behind us, it could be a situation of if you're not in the train, you're going to get picked off. But our car is usually pretty good in a straight line, though Verstappen seems to have got a pretty good run out of that last corner. Unsurprisingly, he sets the fastest lap for the first lap. And we go again. That's a better line into the center S, and we're visually closing in there now. And what's that gap? It's under a second, so we need to try and keep it if we can. And Sainz behind us is just on a second, as we said, a purple first sector. And we'll jump off board now and get a different look at how things are going. And we're definitely, well, look how much closer we are. It's tenths of a second now. Again, I've just got a little bit too much speed into that little double apex there. It's a really tricky corner. I think I'm just struggling with the extra weight of a full tank of gas. I'm just overdoing it a little bit on the way in, but hopefully I'll adjust sooner rather than later to that. And again, you can see just a little wide, just a little bit too much speed with the weight in the car. And again, wide coming onto the front straight. Now that's not ideal. We're going to lose time all the way down this straight now, and Verstappen is very, very close to being a second ahead of us on the lap that DRS will come into being.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car.
Are we going to be close
DRS
enough
zone.
to get it on this back straight here? I think that line there might be the detection point, in which case we are inside. And there we go, we do have DRS. We're too far back here to make a move, I would imagine. Another purple first sector. and just gone a little bit too deep in there, getting excited, trying to catch Verstappen, but we've still got to mention get a decent exit, and I've got a little bit closer to the racing line. I'm getting better at that corner, aren't I? And yeah, well, this is where we want to be. Try and line him up for a move down into the center S, preferably. If you have to wait for the back straight, that's absolutely fine as well. And Sainz he's sticking around, isn't he? He's not disappearing again, just a little bit too much speed, a little bit wide. A red middle sector, which isn't ideal. We've got an okay exit. And let's see, are we close enough for DRS? We should be. There's the DRS. Now, how powerful is this going to be? Is it going to draw us right up behind him? We're a little bit too far back as we set the fastest lap of the race.
Fastest lap of the race so far.
And again, just braking it a little bit too late, getting a little bit too excited, and in the end costing myself time. We've still got the DRS, but again we're too far back, and again too deep on the brakes. And if we can get that right, if I can get that right, I mean we're still making it ground up on him, so if I can sort of get a better exit when if I don't go deep on the brakes, then he should be a relatively easy overtake for us. But it's just staying close during the infield here, and we seem to be a little bit quicker than him everywhere. Where he's getting his gap is when I go too deep, and again that's not too bad though. Now can we get the good last corner here? Oh, just a little wide, but it's not too bad. Still that 0.7 of a second that we've been back most laps. We're into 0.6 now. I just think we're maybe a little bit too far back again. We're going to be closing, but the straight's just not quite long enough. Now where we might have a chance is at the second dose of DRS here. We are right on him, 0.3 back, inside 0.3 back.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag. I think Mazepin had retired.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag.
And we've got a purple first sector. There is a yellow flag there. I don't see a car, and I don't see
Green flag.
the race stewards telling me that I can't do that. So there we go. I'll let you be the judge. I think we can safely say I did pass under yellow, but the game doesn't penalise you for it, so there's no reason to not do it, really, other than, you know, sticking to the rules. But I had a good run. What was I supposed to do? Not make the move? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Lap 5 now, of course. Pit stop's not too far away here. And let's see if we can... we'll break the DRS. It doesn't look like we've done enough. It's at 0.7. And Sainz has drawn right up into this battle now as well. So Verstappen is going to have DRS. Now let's see if we have a big enough gap now. He's only 0.4 back, so that's closer than we ever were to him. And is he close enough for a move? No. Looks like I've gone a little bit deep in there again. And is that going to cost us now as we go down the back straight? You can see sort of diffuser cam here. Just trying to break the toe a little bit, but in the end he's a little bit too far back. So we don't have to worry. But lap 6, now we were going to come in lap 10, I think, wasn't it? Just after the halfway point. You can see the tyres, they're just starting to go to that yellow colour, which means the best is gone. They are, you kind of start to notice that you lost a little bit of grip, but they're still fine. You know, it's not like there's nothing left on them. But what I'm not being able to do here is break the DRS to Verstappen. Now, because it is such a short lap, and it's two, you know, long DRS zones that are more or less back to back, it's almost impossible, again, just trying to break the toe there, it's almost impossible to actually break the toe. And this time he is much closer, and we've been able to hug the inside and fend that off. But here comes the second dose of DRS, and this could be a little bit more difficult. We go to the inside, send him to the outside, we fade back across, we leave him just a car's width, and we've been able to stick it up the inside there and just do what he did to Hamilton, basically. Just make sure he knows where the track limits are. And that again has brought Carlos Sainz right up to the back of this battle. Now that could benefit us. Oh, and a little bit of well, it was almost sort of power slide as they, between the two corners, just tried to squirt the gas to get a little bit of extra pace, you know, because there is a little straight there, and just overdid it a little bit. Now, let's see what happens here. If Science can keep Verstappen busy, that might just give us a chance to get that second gap. And I think once we've got it, we are faster and we'll possibly be able to then pull away. But every lap we get out to 7/10.
Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the mediums.
And then by the time we get to the end of the straight, our 7/10 gap is effectively gone. And then by the end of this one, what we saw last lap, it was nothing. We were side by side going into the corner. So it's proving difficult. It's proving very difficult to pull away. So my brain now starts to go,
Right, coming at the end of this lap.
yeah, there we go, to trying to avoid an undercut. What I don't want, and because we're in front, we can't really react to what Verstappen does. So if he was to pull in this lap, you know, because we're getting towards halfway on the soft tyre, you can see it's going to yellow as well, so we are sort of further getting into a lesser grip. If he was to come in this lap, then he would have fresh tyres. In all likelihood, he would jump us. So that's what I want to try and avoid by coming in a lap or two early. We'll have to see if it works out. Now, will he follow us in? That is going to be the question here, isn't it? We dart into the pit lane, and let's see. No, he keeps going. Alright, we're coming in a little bit earlier. The reason for that is tyres are wearing, and I want to try and avoid an undercut if I can. And I'm hoping that Sainz and Verstappen will sort of keep each other a little bit busy and cost each other some time as well. So let's see if this pays off. I really wish we were quicker in the stops, but anyway, hopefully we don't come out into traffic as well. Looks like we're going to be okay.
Speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Now, Verstappen, you would imagine, would be coming in this lap. He would want to respond as quickly as possible, as we're all in roughly the same boat in terms of tyre age as well. So let's see if this works out. We haven't come out with a car directly in front of us, so that works not too bad. We do have the Aston Martin of Lundgaard in front of us, but we've got enough of a gap, I would think, that for at least one lap, if Verstappen is going to come straight back in, we should be able to, we'll be in free air effectively. And ideally, we'll catch Lundgaard on the straight and be able to just DRS past him. But we might just be a little bit too far back for DRS, are we? No, we're inside a second. Gasly's coming to the pits. And let's see.
Air is in the pits.
Oh, it's not a great exit. Lundgaard, you can see, has actually driven away from us off the exit of the corner. We've got DRS. We haven't seen anything for Verstappen yet, if he's come in or not. Cowler's jumping around. Verstappen's dropping. We're rising. So Verstappen is in the pits. Oh, he's had a mechanical failure. Oh, there he is there. Look at that. Coming out of pits. We just saw a flash of him, and he's going to get us, is he? Oh, no. He has. So he's got us now. Lundgaard, we've got DRS. We need to make this move. We need to make it now. And we do. Slicing up the inside. And, well, there he is there. We've got it all to do again now with Max Verstappen.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
So we're currently in 10th. Obviously, that's going to improve as everybody else makes their stops. Giovinazzi is in front of Verstappen now. Could we possibly hope that he holds him up? It looks as though we're going to catch him for the DRS zone. So it's probably not going to, even if he does stay out, he's on a soft tyre. So he's probably at lap 10, unless he's already made his stop, which would be too early. He's probably coming in this lap, isn't he? Although Lundgaard behind's on a soft tyre as well, so the Aston Martins are running very long. Are we going to get DRS? Yes, we are. Giovinazzi, did he just pull in the pits there? I think he did. And I just set the fastest lap.
Of the race. Keep this up.
So that's a bonus point, which would be very nice. Of course, the other side to this is, if we look at the constructors, we needed a first and a second, and we needed Red Bull to have a very bad day. The fact that Verstappen is where he is, as we get very close and tempting to have a lunge, the fact that he is where he is suggests that, well, it's not happening, is it? There's nowhere to go. We had the speed, we have a bit of a run on him, but there's just nowhere to overtake into that corner. And just got to be a little bit careful with that front nose on his rear tyre. And he's definitely holding me up. We've seen a couple of times that on the soft tire, I am sometimes a little bit slower than the other cars, but if I have to set up that works for me, which doesn't happen that often, but sometimes on the medium tire, that's where I can actually be quite a bit quicker than the AI. So I'm wondering if maybe that's the situation we've got here. It looks like everybody has stopped now except for Ocon, as we sit on the side pod for a bit. And where is Stroll? Ocon has come in, not Stroll. Where is Gasly? He is P8, so that'll become P7 with the stops. No, it'll become P6 with the stops. But it's not enough, is it? He's behind Perez at an absolute minimum. I mean, we needed a 1-2 basically. We still are just a little bit too far back. What I don't want to do, and Sainz is, well, he's there in third still and sitting around, but what I don't want to do is obviously a rash move here on Verstappen and find ourselves losing a wing or some body damage or something like that and throwing away what at this point looks like it's going to be a win for us. We definitely seem to have the faster car, don't we? And the DRS should eventually be enough to get us past. And so here we go again on the straight. Again, we're going to have DRS. Are we a little bit too far back? Quite sure what I'm doing there. It usually means I'm looking at something that isn't the screen. And, well, again, we really do close in into turn 1, don't we? And are we close enough this time? This looks good. We've got a good run. You can see us. You can see us closing. Verstappen covers the inside. We go to the outside. Late on the brakes. We swoop around and keep it in the track limits. Verstappen is still there, but we'll have another look at it. Late on the brakes. Oh, has he hit us there? Well, that'll be interesting to see. He certainly sort of swerved back the other way very violently, and I've got a little bit deep into the corner there. He's still sticking around, but again, we're late enough on the brakes that he can't stick his nose down there. And just very, very steady through that corner, just making sure I had the inside line. There was nowhere for him to go. And we're back where we started now, where we're trying to break the DRS zone. But Verstappen is dropping back through that fast corner. I think he may have hit us, you know. I didn't feel anything in the car, but the way that he reacted to that, and the way that he's dropping back now, he's over a second, he's lost DRS already. Well, here we go, 5 laps to go, and we've dropped Verstappen. And so now we come around to start the last lap.
This is your final lap of the race.
And you can see Verstappen has dropped back to third, Sainz has got him, Sainz is 2.5 seconds back. And this is looking like victory. Is it number 5 of the career or number 6? I can't remember now if I had 5, if I was going for 5. But, yeah, I mean, it was, once Verstappen dropped away, it was relatively comfortable. Sainz he got into inside 2 seconds, got down to about 1.6 seconds. And then it was, I just sort of got my head down again and just, yeah, well, you can see we've pulled out about a second on him. So it's been a very, very comfortable race for us, and you know, once we got Verstappen out of that DRS, albeit looks like Perez has got him now as well. He almost certainly has some front wing damage, I suspect. And yeah, that was just enough, and it was his own fault. It was a clean move by us. We were clean around the outside. We were in front, and we kept it in track limits. But there we go. It is a victory for Aussie Villain and Aussie Villain Racing. Go on, boys. Vindication!
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close, and the new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Oh, yes. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Oh, Verstappen and his world title. I won the race. This is my moment. Everybody, pay attention to me. Hey, hey. So there we go. I think I deserved that win. I was clearly faster than Verstappen throughout most, if not the entire race. I set the fastest lap as well. And it's just a shame that Gasly couldn't keep up with me, because maybe we could have kept the constructors alive. But Red Bull and Verstappen are champions, which is a little bit of a shame going into the final race. It would have been nice to have something to race for. We can see there, Gasly 32 points back. I am now ahead of Tsunoda. I am ahead of Hamilton. And I am 5 points behind Bottas. That is, could I catch Leclerc as well? Maybe just, I don't, is that what, 21 points? So I could just about catch Leclerc on a bad day for him as well. So Bottas is the target, isn't he, for the final race in Jeddah, in Saudi Arabia. We have secured ourselves second in the championship, which isn't terrible. It's obviously disappointing having won it last year, but there we go. The big news, of course, I've won a race again. Go on. So there we go. Clean sweep of Bottas as well, which is very, very nice. And yeah, well, if you've enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, of course. It's possibly the last time we'll see me on the podium. It's almost certainly the last time we'll see me win a race. But we do have the final race of the championship season in Saudi Arabia next time. And who knows, maybe I can go back to back, and that'd just be something I would do, isn't it? And just think, oh, maybe we should have done more. But anyway, that is all for next time at Saudi. We will round things out and see where we come in the championship. I'd like to at least, as I say, beat Bottas at this point. But I will see you then, and we will wrap up Aussie Villain Racing as a series. Take care.